So this is a really interesting question that we've been discussing at our resort. If you don't know, I have a family-run resort. So our family has been operating this resort for actually close to 25 years now. And we're not massive by any means, but the question has definitely come up. How do we compete with the Airbnb market? It's been around. I don't see it going away. What it does is it forces us as an industry to up our game because we have to. It's the same as when Uber came into the market and the taxi drivers were fighting Uber. That's not the right attitude to have. The right attitude to have is ask yourself, well, if we had to put ourselves out of our own business, what would we need to be doing? And so as a small resort, as a boutique resort, the answer to me was actually pretty clear. And it's saying we can't continue to survive off of just our location alone. I think a lot of resorts have used that and have been lucky, but also lazy with relying on their destination, because often these resorts are built in unique destinations, as is ours. Ours is built in a very iconic Canadian destination for vacations. However, with the advent of Airbnb provides a plethora of options now for travelers where if all they want to do is visit a location, then they're just looking for that accommodation piece. Airbnb can provide some amazing opportunities for that. Now we have to look at what can Airbnb not do? What are they not capable of? What we see as being our unique opportunity is we need to up our game with the experience that the guest is getting from us, from our staff. So we need to improve our staff training, and also playing on the community aspect of the guest stay. So the way that we've kind of started tackling this issue with like competing with Airbnb and the encroaching market share that they're coming in with is we need to bring more community and more culture to our resort. So some of the ways that we've been doing that are we've started creating more of our own games. So games for the guests to play throughout the week. We've been doing this for a little while, but another thing that we've done is as opposed to guests coming and going whenever they want, what we do that is a little bit unique for us and has worked really, really well is we make sure that the guest has to book a week minimum in our high season, but they have to book that week minimum, but they all come in at the same time. So for us, they all come in either Saturday or Sunday so that we're actually forcing those guests to spend a whole week with each other. Now we do this in a small setting. I'd say this is pretty ideal for us. Typically, we actually don't have more than 50 people at our destination at any given time. But that really gives them an opportunity to get to know each other. In alignment with that, and I think this is really, really important, this is something that we've learned through our marketing, is it is so important to figure out who your imaginary guest is, who your ideal guest is, so that you can market to that demographic and focus on just them and push away everybody else. So for example, for us, we really wanted to market to families, and we know that the decision maker of the family is a mom. We also understand what a family is looking for in experience, and that's very clearly not an environment where they feel there's any kind of risk to their children's safety. One of those things that we saw as a risk and an annoyance to the family safety were other big groups coming in. So a lot of other resorts out there will book groups. We actively will turn groups away, including family reunions. We will actually turn family reunions away because that environment, when you've got a family reunion, it's amazing when you're in it yourself, but as an outsider, there can be this sense of rambunctiousness, rowdiness. Sometimes that comes with excessive drinking, where that's not a safe environment for a young family to have. So we actually turn those away. Now, what's been really interesting for us, bringing those young families in and bringing them together and forcing them to spend a week together, that we haven't seen before, is when we do a really good job with the marketing, we bring that same family in again and again. They form really close relationships in that week. And they come to us and ask for a repeat booking as a group. So they didn't know each other before they arrived, and yet we're finding more and more instances where the entire resort has decided to rebook for the next week, that next year, which for us is amazing. It's an amazing revenue opportunity, but more importantly to me, it says what we're doing is we're creating relationship, and that's something that Airbnb can't compete with. A couple of other things that we're definitely working on is We're working on creating, again, unique experiences, and this is something you'll see in my other videos I'm talking about, but creating unique experiences that those guests can't have anywhere else. That includes adventures that we're putting together for the families. That includes some of the games that we play. And when we play games, rather than, for instance, saying, hey, we're going to organize a baseball game for the guests at the resort, that's pretty cool. But what we do is we'll say, well, we're organizing a game. It's kind of like baseball, but we create our own culture with it so that they won't be able to play that game anywhere else. For us, we call it canoe ball. And the baseball bat ends up being a canoe paddle. We play with a kickball. We have our own funny rules. But it becomes something that's very cultural to us, where there's no way they'll get that experience anywhere else. They have context because they played baseball before and it follows some of the rough rules. So they all kind of know how to play, but then we provide a lot of opportunity to have fun with it, and it builds a culture that is uniquely our own. So when it comes to competing with the Airbnb market, you need to forget about the fact that you're in a unique destination, because now the traveler has that opportunity to book in an Airbnb in that same destination. And you need to understand what it is that you can bring to the table that traveler's not going to find anywhere else, especially in an Airbnb stay. Now, that's something that I'm sure will be evolving over time, but those are a few things that we've been working on, and we've actually seen it's been good. It's been good forcing us to actually come up with some of these ideas, because we should have come up with them years ago by all rights, but we've been lazy. And now we're coming up with some unique offerings that we're excited about. And we've seen some amazing results just in the last few years with what we've been working on, what we've been doing. So I'd absolutely encourage you to do the same. Hey, if you enjoyed that video, then there's a ton more resources for you over at tourismmanagementacademy.com. Head over there, find the resources that you need in order to take your destination to the next level. The other thing that would be awesome is let me know how you are receiving these videos. Just go into the comments below. Tell me what your questions are, what your challenges are. I absolutely read those, and that's what is the basis for our next video. So go ahead, go down there, let me know what you're thinking. And if you're liking these videos, then for sure, smash that subscribe button.